A dramatic escalation in the Middle East. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has claimed it fired Khorramshahr 4 heavy missiles toward the heart of Israel. According to the IRGC, the strike was carried out in the 19th wave of its operation called Promise of Truth 4. The missiles, each carrying a 1-ton warhead, were launched at dawn, targeting Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion Airport, and Squadron 27 of the Israeli Air Force stationed at the airport.
The brave and courageous sons of the Iranian nation in the country's armed forces, on the 5th day of the beginning of the war and the joint US-Israeli aggression against the Islamic homeland, carried out powerful and proud operations and inflicted heavy and deadly blows on the enemy's strategic systems and equipment. The 17th wave of Operation True Promise 4, with the holy code, Messenger of Allah, may God bless him and grant him peace, was carried out by firing more than 40 missiles of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps aerospace force towards American Zionist targets, destroying the enemy's bases, systems, and equipment.
The IRGC says the missiles were preceded by attack drones and managed to pass through multiple layers of Israeli air defenses before striking their targets. Iranian military officials described the attack as creating what they called a real hell for the aggressors. Tehran also claims that the previous wave of the operation targeted US military facilities across the Gulf region. According to the IRGC statement, at least 20 US military targets in Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait were struck during the earlier phase of the campaign. Iranian commanders say coordinated operations across multiple fronts have changed what they call the equation of war, warning that US forces stationed across the region are now within their reach. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Seyed Abbas Araghchi has accused the United States of attacking an Iranian naval vessel far from Iranian shores. In a post on X, Araghchi claimed the Iranian frigate Dena, carrying nearly 130 sailors and visiting India as a guest of the Indian Navy, was struck in international waters without warning. Araghchi issued a stark warning to Washington.
The U.S. has perpetrated an atrocity at sea, 2,000 miles away from Iran's shores. Frigate Dena, a guest of India's Navy carrying almost 130 sailors, was struck in international waters without warning. Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret precedent it has set.
Northern Iraq is under fire tonight. Iranian-backed militias, calling themselves the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, have launched a wave of drone and missile attacks targeting American military positions across the region. The group claims it carried out dozens of operations using drones and missiles against what it calls occupation bases in Iraq and the region. The attacks are centered around Erbil, the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region, where the United States maintains a major military presence. Air defense systems intercepted several drones overnight, but falling debris damaged homes and buildings in residential areas. Fear spread quickly among residents as explosions echoed across the city. Drone interceptions scattered debris across neighborhoods in Erbil. Homes were left with shattered windows and walls marked by shrapnel as residents surveyed the damage. Many say they were caught completely off guard.
So I woke up around 2:45 a.m. to one of the loudest bangs I've ever heard of in my life. It was an explosion. And so I quickly jump up and I see like all my windows are broken. And so then I go outside and I just see like a bunch of people, like 20, 30 men, soldiers, who are just, looking for something. I don't know what it is. I think they were looking for the drone.
Another resident described returning home only to discover his house heavily damaged by falling drone fragments. A stark reminder that civilians are now being dragged into the conflict.
Honestly, it is hard feeling. I mean, it is not about the financial aspect of it, but it is about the fact that you go for a journey and come back to see this disaster, that you are being a victim of a catastrophic incident. This war that we have nothing to do with it. We are not responsible for it, we are not a part of it, and we were not the cause of it. We just pay the price for something we didn't do.
The militia group behind the attacks says its fighters have carried out nearly 30 operations in the past 24 hours, launching dozens of drones and missiles at enemy bases. The group also claims it shot down a US MQ-9 drone in Iraq's Salah al-Din province. The attacks come after the recent US and Israeli strikes on Iran, triggering a wider regional escalation. Iran-linked militias are now threatening Western countries supporting the campaign, warning that their forces and interests across Iraq and the region could become legitimate targets. As drone strikes intensify, northern Iraq is rapidly turning into another front line in the expanding Middle East conflict.